This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk through your 2020 Autumn Ridge, model 32 BHS. Okay. I'm here on the door side of the trailer at the rear. And I think the first thing I need to show you is right down here in the corner, there's a quick connect for your LP line. It's just a quick connect LP fitting, and it will take the male end of an LP hose. Let me show you this one right here, just like that. Of course, this one here, your range top here, pulls out, and I'm sure you probably have another one, another hook up here. Let me just see down here. Yeah, right here. So right below that, your outside range, you have another hookup right here. Okay, so these are for obviously for low pressure LP gas appliances. You have a fold-in steps or fold-out steps, whichever way you look at it. Now, if you're on uneven terrain, you can pull this pin right here. If I can find it, there it is right there. You can pull this pin and slide the legs up and down to adjust for the terrain. Okay. This is your access panel for your refrigerator. You don't really have to go in there except for service. This is the vent for your range hood. So if you're going to use the range hood fan, you can pull up on the baffle right here and it'll flap freely to vent to the outside, but if you're not venting to the outside, just keep it shut. Alright, so there's two ways to get water to your trailer. The most common way is just regular city water hookup. That's on the other side of the trailer. I'll show you that when we get over there. But if you go to a campsite that does not have plumbing on the campsite, you can fill this fresh water tank ahead of time and then just use the onboard water pump to pump it. So you'll use this only if there's no city water on the campsite. Alright. Excuse me, sorry about my camera work here. Your water heater works on both gas and electric. The switches to operate it are inside. I just want to show you, this is where you drain it right here. So that's the drain for it. But the switches to operate it are inside. Always make sure that there's water in the tank before you hook up or turn on the electricity or the gas. The way you do that basically is you hook up your city water, then you would turn on a hot water valve, let's say on your kitchen sink, and if it's just blowing out air, then basically it's empty and it's filling. So as it fills, it'll start spitting out a little bit of water, and then eventually you'll get a solid stream of water. That's how you know that it's full at that point. All right. This hookup here is just for a solar battery charger. If you wanted to get a solar panel to charge your battery, you could plug it in right there. This is your hitch. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We're going to show you how that operates, obviously, but if you can't, if you need to refresh your memory, then you can always go to their website and look at their hookup video from wherever you're at. Alright, this is a crank for your stabilizers, obviously. The smaller crank that you see hanging down there, let me see, make sure I got the right. Yeah, the smaller crank is in case your tongue jack was to fail. You have a power tongue jack. If it was to fail, you could pull this plug and crank it manually. You just put the crank on there. Okay, so you got two LP tanks with an automatic changeover LP regulator, power tongue jack, and a deep cycle marine battery. Okay. This is your dump hose here. This is a reducer to reduce your plug down to a 15 amp if you had to. Just remember, you can't run your air conditioner on 15 amps if you plug it in at home. This is a sprayer. I'll show you where that hooks up when we get back there. Okay. So, this is where your water hooks up right here. You hook the sprayer that I just showed you right onto here. Alright. This is your city water hookup right here. So you would hook the city water hose right there. And then if you look at this diagram here, you would want this blue lever in this position to run city water. So you would just go like that. So you hook your hose on there, turn it on, and when you're in that position, it'll just feed all the faucets in the toilet and the shower and everything. Okay. Now I showed you can fill it on the outside on the other side of the trailer through that fill port. You can also fill it this way. If you had the city water hooked up, you can go like this. Let me get the camera in the right spot here. You can go like this, and as you can see from the drawing there, that would actually fill the tank. So there's two ways you can fill your tank with this. But like I said, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to be using city water. Okay? Now to dump your trailer, let's see what we got here. Alright, I'm just letting that dump because he water tested it, but he did not dump it, so I'm just getting rid of the water right now. So basically you saw me pull the valves. These are gate valves. So the gray one obviously is for gray water. The black one obviously is for black water. The black water is for the black tank, or the black valve is for the black tank, which holds toilet water and waste. And then the gray one is for sink and shower water, called the gray tank. You always dump the black tank first because it's clean, or it's dirtier water than the gray water. So you dump the black first, then you would dump the gray just to wash out the hose with the less dirty water than the black water. Now, if you leave your black valve open, you can come up here back to your fill station here, and this here is a black tank flush. So you could hook your hose at the dump station right onto here. Like it says on the sticker, always make sure the black tank valve is open first. You turn on the water and it'll spray the inside of your black tank. So it'll clean off the sensors and just generally spray out the tank and make it even cleaner. So that's really a good thing to do, good practice to have, because it makes a big difference. Okay. You have slide toppers on both of your slide outs. There's nothing, they just go in and out with the slide. You don't have to push any buttons or anything other than the regular slide out button. This is showing us that this housing here that is pre-wired for a backup camera. So if you want to get a backup camera for it, this is takes a Furrion camera, and you have to get the Furrion camera that fits that housing. Okay. Also, while we're looking up, you have to inspect the roof of your trailer at least 3 times a season. Once in the spring, once in the fall, and once in the middle of the summer. You go up there, send somebody up there, you look around at all the sealant on the roof. Any place that you see sealant, you check out. And in some years, sometime you're going to see some cracking or separation starting. It does it every trailer. Will eventually have some cracking or separation at the sealant. And when you see that, you have that touched up, or do it yourself. Don't use caulk from the hardware store. Always use the proper stuff from the the RV place. So you got to inspect your roof. That's every trailer owner has to do that. It's just part of owning a trailer. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's go inside. Okay, so your slide room switch is here, in and out. That's pretty self-explanatory. Always make sure your door, like the door, is going to be shut here, and everything is out of the way when you're bringing it in and out, of course. You have a second one here, second slide here. Same thing, make sure everything's out of the way when you do that. Okay, and you have a power awning, which is right here. So you just extend it and retract it. Now when you extend it, it's going to go out 8 feet, and you'll see the awning tube. So that's how you know you're all the way out. Just remember, never leave the awning out unattended, because it'll definitely, the wind can whip up pretty quick and you can damage it in just an instant. So unless you're at the campsite, you keep the awning rolled in. That's important. Also, I told you there was a pump for your fresh water tank. It's right here. To light your water heater is right here. Okay. To check your levels, you do that right here. You see your charge. Your fresh water is almost full, or is full. We'll dump that for you when we're done testing it. Black water, I just dumped it, as you remember. And your gray has got a little bit in it. So the thing is, this will graduate up in 1/3 increments. So as it fills up, you keep an eye on it. When you get past 2/3, you're going to have to start thinking about dumping your black or your gray tank. Okay. Your thermostat is real simple. You just hit the mode button once to light it up. Right now we're on cool auto, which is what you want for air conditioning. That's the furnace. That's off. That's the fan running without the air compressor, and that's where we're back to auto. There's always a lag time when you switch between appliances or just turn them on or off. So keep in mind there's at least a 5-second lag time. So it does not instantly react. All right. Now just so you know, this red light here is, you'll hook your TV onto here. This red light is just to show you that the signal booster for the digital antenna is turned on, so this should always be red when you're watching over the antenna, watching TV over the air. Your sound bar, you can stream off the USB stick. You've got Bluetooth, so you can stream off your phone or tablet. You got 2 speaker zones, A and B. A is inside, B is outside. So there's a lot you can do with it. Everything you need for camping, that's for sure. Okay, your refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator, meaning it'll run on LP gas or 110 AC. So, turn it on like so. Right, you see right there the auto light came on. You can shut it off, but the auto light came on. Auto means electric. The reason they call it auto is because it automatically seeks out electricity, and when it finds it like it just did, it just told you it's running on AC. If we were to unplug it, let's say, or there was a power failure, it'll automatically switch over to gas so you don't spoil the food. That's why they call it auto. But electricity takes parameters, so it's always going to seek out electricity first. You can pull this down the road on gas. As a matter of fact, you can dedicate it to gas just by going like that if you need to. You see it switched over to gas. But even if you got it on auto, if it can't find 110 AC, it's going to run it on gas. So keep that in mind. All right. This works just like your refrigerator home, except it does not have a compressor, so it takes a lot longer to reach operating temperature. So keep that in mind. It's you know, some people like to start it the day ahead of time, but you're going to have to give it 6 or 8 hours before it's going to get to a normal operating temperature. So give it plenty of time. I told you about the range hood and the vent on the outside. Remember I told you to open the baffle? That's if you're running your fan, of course. Let's see what we've got here. This is a Furrion range, so it sparks for both the oven and the range top. So let me see if he's got the gas turned on here. Yes, he does. Okay. So you're just gonna turn the burner knob to flame, to picture the flame, and then you go clockwise with the sparker. Now, to light the oven, it's a little different. Down here at the bottom, all the way to the back, there's a pilot light. If you see, hopefully you can see me sparking it here. Let me make sure here. I think I spoke too quickly on whether some of them I spark, some of them you have to light. I just want to make sure we got the right one here. This one you'll have to light with a grill lighter. Okay. I'm going to check into that for you. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. I thought that this one sparked to light it. I may be wrong because there's so many different models, but I'm going to look into it to make sure that it needs to be lit with a lighter, and it's just not working correctly. I guess is what I'm saying. So I'm just telling you right now that by the time you see this video, I'll have looked into this and found out the facts about it. So, but we'll just assume you use a lighter at this point. Use a grill lighter, like a lot of them do, and basically you'll go to the pilot light here on the knob, and then you depress it and hold it. Then you would spark it with the grill lighter, and when the pilot light lights, you're still holding this in, and you'll hold it for another 10 seconds or so till it heats up, and then you go to operating temperature. But when you go back to off, obviously the flame goes off, but so does the pilot light. I'm going to look into this also to make sure that it is the type you use a lighter for. I know that's confusing right now to you, but I just have to make sure. There's a lot of different models. Okay, so this device here is the power converter. It converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So you have regular household circuit breakers here, and they're all labeled. Okay. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC, and you've got automotive style 12 volt fuses here. If any of these fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up, and you'll be able to see it that they lit up. Okay. Also, this is a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery needs up front, and it'll always keep it charged as long as you're plugged in. So it's a battery charger also. This device here is the carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. It should always be green like that. Let me set it off for you so you can hear it. So it goes through self-test here. Got another one coming up. Okay. That's telling us it's a low battery. When it goes slowly like that, it's telling you that the battery's low. Okay, so those are the three things. Carbon monoxide, LP gas, and if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you that your battery's low. If this goes off, obviously you take everybody outside, you shut the gas off at the front and figure out what's going on. Never ignore it, never unhook it, of course. And it should always be green like that. So make sure that if it's not, you get it serviced. Okay. Alright, so let's see here. Let's go this way. Nice sized trailer. So the shower and the sink work like any other sink and shower. This GFCI here, there's two of them in this trailer. I think the other one's probably in the back. We'll look for it. But all the plugs will be wired through one of the GCFIs that are inside here. So if you're using a coffee pot outside and it was the pot, for example, you'll reset it inside the trailer. Now, the thing to know about the bathroom is the toilet has to have chemical and water in it to start using it. So, let me turn on the water pump because I noticed there was water in the tank, so we can just sort of show you that way. So you'll hook up you'll pull into the campsite, you're going to hook up your water, you're going to hook up your power, then you'll come in here and you'll take your chemical. Whichever toilet chemical you choose to use, you'll put one dose in, whatever your directions tell you is the dose. You'll put it right in there, right? Then you'll step on the flush pedal right here. Water comes swirling out, and you'll stand on this until you put about a gallon or so of water in there. There's no way to tell exactly what a gallon is. You just have to use common sense. The bottom line is that you have to have water in it and some chemical to start using it. If you look directly below, that is the black tank straight down. So it's emptying right into the black tank. So really what you're doing is putting chemical and water into your black tank. So you have to have a little bit of water in there and chemical to start using it. If you're going to stay at the same campsite for another week, let's say, but your tank was full and you had to dump them, after you did that, you'd come inside and repeat the procedure. Put some chemical and about a gallon or two of water in there. Also, when you flush this thing, it defaults right to there, so there's not much water in it. But if you see, I can push the pedal. Let me see if I can get it on camera. You just push it a little bit, and it fills without opening the trap. So you can put as much water as you want in the bowl before you use it. You just have to do that each time, okay? All right. We're getting there. So, up front here, this is the escape window here. You're going to, if you need to escape, you'll push this all the way through, obviously. Then you grab a hold of the red tab, pull out the screen, and out you go for an emergency. Now, this must already have two air conditioners on it, I'm guessing, because you have two zones. Yes, it does. So here's your other thermostat here, just so you know. Okay? So that would be zone 2 up front. Also, if I go back to the bunk room, see what we got back here. Another escape window. This one works a little differently, but nevertheless, you have this one. You pull the red. It's hinged at the top, so you'll pull the red releases, and the bottom swings open. So you got 4 beds in here when you consider you could drop the table down to be another bed, and then of course that bunk drops down, so you could actually sleep 4 if you need to. There should be a, let's see, let me look around before I say any more, because I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about here. Okay, yeah, so the TV hookup is here. There's no sticker on here anymore, but I'm sure there's a backer. I can feel a stud right there. So the bottom line is, if you're gonna use a swing out bracket, this one, a scissor type, would work really well. And also try to, if you're gonna get one, spend the extra money and get the one that locks into place when it's retracted. That way you don't have to hang straps and everything. And when you mount it, there should be a backing plate right there. Normally there's a sticker if there's one there, but it could have came off. But like I said, I do feel that there's a stud there, so you should have no problem. But like I said, with the brackets, if you're going to get the swing out type or the scissor type, make sure you spend a little extra money and get the ones that lock into place when you close them, so you don't have to strap them, because the straps hang there. It's just not a clean install. It's much nicer if they lock into place. Okay. All right. So I'm going to check for you on the oven thing. That was the one thing I'm not sure of. This jackknife's flat, of course, for another bed. You can drop the poles here, or put them inside your storage, and drop the table down onto the cleats down here, and use the back cushions to fill in the space. And you got another bed, so you got a lot of sleeping options. But you need them when you camp. The more the merrier. Okay. Alrighty. So I think I might have mentioned that you always want to run the shower or the fan when you use the shower to pull the humidity out. These things are built super tight now. You don't want to create an environment for mold or mildew, so make sure you always run that with the shower. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna end now, and I'll look into the oven issue situation for you. So remember, first let me thank you for buying your trailer from National RV Detroit. Second of all, always inspect your roof at least 3 times a season. Every trailer owner needs to do it, but not enough people do it. It's very important. And always bypass the water heater before you winterize the trailer. There are valves on the back of the water heater. You can't get antifreeze into the water heater tank because it'll leave a really foul taste and a bad smell. So they give you a means to bypass that when you winterize it. So you can educate yourself on that a bit. Okay, thank you very much.